So I begin with my customary greeting. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So that's just opening space, right? So I want to begin today with worldview. Worldview. How the way we look at the world influences not just our quality of life, but will influence the output of your life, right? Everything has an output, everything has a conclusion, everything. So if we look around us, you will find trees and stuff like that has a conclusion. From a seed, it grows, it flowers, it fruits, it becomes a seed. It repeats itself. It has a conclusion. And this conclusion doesn't need to be biological. This conclusion could be, for example, discovering a particular aspect of health. It's leaving you with a conclusion. It's leaving you with something. So the question arises: what are you? Why are you? Why are you alive? What's the point of it? What's the point of life? Your life. You can't deny that you're alive. Can't deny that. So this challenges a lot of things on our perceived worldview, because the perceived worldview, the way you are taught to see the world, right? So what is a worldview? The worldview is the way you and I have been conditioned to see the world. So in order to meet the expectations of this social order, there are certain, say, milestones. You have to go to school. You have to go to university. You have to get a degree, get a job. You have to get married. You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this, and you have to retire. So these are milestones that aren't yours. You weren't born with them, but they were created in you. And without question, we all move into it. We all move into it. Never question it. Never question it. And if we don't get any of those milestones, there's a level of guilt and there's a level of regret, there's a level of anger, level of resentment, because you didn't meet those expectations set upon you by the other worldview. You have no idea. When you and I were born, we had no worldview. Child has no worldview, doesn't know the difference between fire and candy floss, has no worldview. You have to teach it that. And once you've taught it, you take it to be truth. Never deny it. This becomes our illness. This is the root of illness. And I'll tell you why it's the root of your illness and mine. Is because this worldview you are constantly trying to fit into, socially, economically, status wise, whatever your collective is, that worldview you wish to fit into. And this can be so many times against your very what you feel to be right, what you know to be right, what you know to be correct. But the world, life, the circumstances do not allow you or I to be able to get there, to impact your physiology, the way your heart beats, where your pressure, your electromagnetic field, impact on your circulatory system, everything is recordable simply because of your worldview. So if there was a worldview just for a moment, just for 2 minutes, and the reason you or I will experience some level of peace, some level of harmony, is the fact that you separate it. That's all we need to do. So the question arises, which I began with, Everything has a conclusion, everything has a purpose, everything has an intelligent output. Then what's yours and not mine? Why are you alive? What have you or I, what is the purpose? Save developing countries. We give ourselves purpose. But in the entirety of it, the question always comes back to ourselves, which is, what's the point of my life? Why am I alive? And meditation, just through practice of that separation, we begin to realize that not is it just very valuable for our health and well-being, but there's a new identity that emerges. And this new identity is no different to the identity you had in your mother. But the difference is you now know health, depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff, self regulation. It'll give you those tools. That's not a problem. But it's when it goes beyond that that it begins to answer the fundamental questions. And the fundamental question, so meditation is not Mickey Mouse. It ain't stuff that you just do like an elastoplast and all is good. It will open certain understandings that you cannot get away from. You cannot get away from. And those understandings need answers. Those answers can only come from you. No one can give you that. But we need to understand that sometimes to get those answers, we have to shift our worldview. We have to see things in a different way. So we spoke about atoms, one way of looking at the world, the way the world is made, and the other is that it's fluid and it's energetic and it's not rigid things, but everything's interrelated. Everything is interconnected. And once we begin to recognize that, we then begin to recognize something very fundamental about us. That if everything we see around us, everything that you experience around you, whatever you do, the lens of your worldview will either make it a misery or a non-misery. It's entirely through this worldview. And half of the time, I would say 99% of the time, you don't even know you've got one until it's shown to you. And without meditation, you can't see it. And how do you see it? It's when the thought patterns are. This begins to give you the pattern of the way you see the world, your worldview. So meditation absolutely and critically will shift your worldview. And when this is shifting, the individual can go through some very deep psychological spaces. Dark night of the soul. Yeah, nothing easy about it. When you can't answer your existential question, it's a bit deeper than just knowing what's on Netflix. Right? This goes a bit deeper than that. Existential question. So these things can open. So my advice is that in any meditation practice, critical to keep it going and keep access to a group, because many people will have experiences in different ways, and those different experiences add to a new worldview, a new way to look at life. And with the way of looking at life, you also then begin to look at death in the way it should be looked at, rather than they want to talk about that. Yeah. So it opens the whole space. So meditation will impact your worldview. That impact on your worldview will also impact your health in a good way, but it can also bring out these questions, much deeper ones. And for that, you need a community. You need individuals who've walked this path before they know where they're going, which is why the book have had books written. So the same is with our practice. Every day, even if it's for 2 minutes, every day, sit with yourself. That's all we're saying. Sit with yourself, learn to sit in your own presence, not afraid of what the mind is bringing to you, can't do jack to you. It's only a thought. And people tell me I'm afraid to sit with myself. What can a thought do unless you interact with it? It's only when you take hold of the thought and start saying, yeah, I'm going to go and do this. Otherwise, it's like a cloud. It comes and it goes. So we have to learn to be able to sit with ourselves. And in this sitting is a lot of healing, but mostly growth. Growth at a level that you will only know when you get there. You will not know now. You will know when you get there and say, yeah, meditations help me in my health. Yeah, meditations help me. But then there's a space that you grow within yourself where you can sit with yourself. But sooner or later, you'll have to. We all have to. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some meditation. Thank you, Sylvia. Okay. So, worldview. So, part of this is let's experience things, right? So, there are 3 or 4 ways you can know things. One is you put your hand in the fire, and that is experience. The other is the knowledge about that experience. You can write books about it. You can write about the flame. You can write about the biology. You can write about everything to do with what it means to burn. But if you haven't put your hand in it, you don't know what it is. That is called knowledge. Those people who follow knowledgeable people, like follow the science, knowledgeable people, or follow the religions, knowledgeable people, or that's what you perceive, they are believers. So you have believers, you have knowledgeable people, and you have those who experience. Neither the knowledge nor the believers know what the experience is. Meditation is about that experience. No talk, no nothing can describe the experience of itself. So we will go towards ourselves. So you close your eyes, you close your mouth. If you're uncomfortable in closing your eyes, you can just look towards the floor and not focus on anything. And just open your chest a bit. So pulling your shoulders back, pulling yourself up from your hair. So imagine that you're being pulled up. And this allows the neck, the head, and the spine to align. And then make sure that your posture is comfortable, right? So you don't want to be rigid. So just allow yourself to relax a little bit. So your head is pulled up. And if you pull your chin in, you'll notice the back of the neck stretches. And the reason we do this is simply to become present to the body and to make sure we're comfortable. So make sure you're comfortable. On your next breath in, bring your focus now to your physical presence. So that's the body. You will begin to notice that you can sense it. You may not be able to outline it, but you can sense it. And this sensing is from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Somewhere it may be a bit stronger than others, like perhaps near your chest. Yeah, just notice that sensing. Now bringing your focus to your physical structure. Notice your posture. If you need to adjust it, adjust it. Notice your posture. This is you simply being with yourself for a few moments. Notice that the chair beneath you holds you in place. In other words, you're grounded, held in place. Feel that. Allow yourself to let go of it. See control. Notice that there are sent down, and as it does so, allows you to scan the body. identifying any dominant structure. You bring your focus gently to the seat that you're on, to the seat that you're on. Notice that your head to a chair makes contact with your body. From those sensations, if you just allow this awareness to move up towards your hips, as you breathe out, you allow this awareness to move down your thighs, scanning the thighs gently, and all you're doing is simply looking for sensations. So your eyes are closed, your focus has gone to your chair, you notice the sensations in your body, you allow this awareness to move up your hips and then gently down your thighs. From your knees, you move down towards your ankles. Notice your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Bring your focus back to the seat. Once again, notice that it supports you, it holds you in place. Notice that the back is straight and upright. And as you breathe in, you bring your focus up your lower back towards the middle back. Remember, you're scanning. It's a form of diagnosis. From your middle back, you bring up towards your shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. And then bringing this focus down from your shoulders to your elbows. Moving down towards your wrists. And then coming to the palms of your hands. Hold your focus there as best as you can. And on your next breath in, bring your focus towards your eyes. Notice you have awareness of the back of your eyelids. And as you breathe out, you allow this part of the body to your mouth. Notice the tongue. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth. And as you breathe out, allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again, bringing your focus to your whole body as best as you can. And again, just see if you can notice anything that's dominant in your body right now. Pain, an ache, a tightness and itch. And all you want to do is just locate it. No commentary, no judgment. Next breath in, bringing your focus now to your inner space, meaning your thoughts and your feeling, your state of emotional space. So bring your focus first towards your thoughts. If any. What thoughts have been dominated your mind today? How does space feel? Does it feel tired? Does it feel attentive? Does it feel lazy? Clarity. Next breath in, bringing your focus towards your chest. And just hold your focus on the surface of your chest. And begin to notice the movement of the chest. And if you find that your focus has drifted, notice where it's been distracted by, bring it back to your chest. Notice that as the breath comes in, the chest moves out. As the breath moves out, the chest moves in. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Notice there are sensations that accompany the movement of your chest. Sensations around your ribs. Sensations on the back even. Now see if you can move your focus a bit deeper into yourself. Right in the center of your space, your very heart. And hold your focus there. And as you hold your focus, then notice how you're feeling. Does this moment feel content? Or is there something missing? Don't feel content? Or is there something missing? Are you content in this moment or discontent? Is this moment how you do you feel settled or do you feel unsettled? Do you feel peaceful or do you feel irritated? And on your next breath out, simply opening your awareness to all the sounds and noises around you. And all you do is just begin to listen. Allow the sounds to come to you, working them out. Begin to watch the movement of your breath. Whenever you find your focus has been distracted by a sound, or watching the in breath moving in, watching the out breath moving out, to breathe by itself. Stay with it. Notice your in breath as a start and an end, your out breath as a start and an end. See if you can notice that. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. So, begin to follow your out breath all the way till the end. Notice when it finishes completely. And as you follow your out breath, allow your body, following your out breath all the way till the end. Notice when your out breath finishes, there's a tiny gap before the in breath begins. See, notice that. Simply awareness. How does your breath feel? Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Is your breath flowing fast or does it feel slow? Really getting. Does your breath feel smooth? Does it feel rough? Notice how the breath is flowing. Does your breath have a temperature? Does your breath have a temperature? Does it feel cool or does it? When does your in breath begin? Does your breath have a sound? Does your breath have a sound? Listening to your breath. On your next breath out, once again just opening your awareness to all sounds around you, allowing the sounds, listening, allowing the sounds of the bell to move you further into the silence, simply following as best as you can. Listening. Gently bringing your focus beneath your nose and sitting with your breath in silence. Stay with your breath. Notice the quality of your experience. If it feels calm, notice the calmness. If it feels still, notice the stillness. If it feels silent, notice the silence. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to your whole body as best as you can. Notice what's happening within you. How do you feel within yourself? What thoughts are dominant, if any? Notice the chair still holds you exactly as you began, held in place. Sensations in your body where you make contact with whatever you're sitting on. Bringing your focus down your thighs towards your knees. From your knees, moving down to your ankles. Becoming present to your body. Notice your feet. Coming back to your seat. Notice that the back is still straight and upright. Shoulders are relaxed, comfortable, as are your arms and hands. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath comes in, you begin to sense your body. As the breath goes out, you sense your body. Breathing in your calm, breathing out your calm. As the breath comes in, you sense your body. As the breath goes out, you sense your body. Moments you will hear another bell. Use